Morning everyone. Been a little while since I posted anything to the channel, but I'm doing a quick little project that I get asked about quite a lot from, you know, the Ranger and old Ford groups. I guess old-ish. But so what we're doing today is on my 80, it's technically 90, I believe. My 90 Ranger, we are changing the ignition cylinder and door locks just because I haven't been able to lock the door since I bought this truck years ago, and since I picked up a new project car, this is going to be on the driveway for a while, so I figured I'd like to be able to lock the doors on occasion. But so today's video should be a real quick one. There's a few ways to go about it. I'm going to show you the way I like to do it just because it's usually the fastest and easiest. So stick around and we'll get right to it. So I picked the set up on eBay. I'm guessing that they might have been pulled out of something that got crushed, because they have the original keys, the Ford Family of Fine Cars key, and it's got these record of destruction rings on them. But these came out of a truck, I'm guessing, probably a 93 or 94, because they take one key for both the door locks and the ignition, which in the 90 Ranger, they were two separate keys where they had the square and the round with the cuts opposite. So I think it's 30 bucks on eBay, something like that. So there's multiple ways to go about getting the door cylinders out. The easiest way, at least in my opinion, you don't even have to touch the door panel unless you mess it up, which happens to the best of us, is you're going to take a pair of vice grips, and there's this little tag right here that's pretty much on every 80s and 90s Ford. It's definitely on all the Broncos, F-150s, it's on the Fox bodies, everything. Grab that, grab with a pair of vice grips, pop it out. You can sometimes get them out with a flathead, but as you see, it's not real sturdy, so you can bend it out of the way and the flathead or the pry bar just won't get it out. But I'm gonna figure out a way to set this up so you guys can see, and we'll get to it. So take your vice grips. You can do it with regular pliers. This one's a little tight in the door jam. Sometimes you start with a pair of needle nose to get it away from the door. See, now it's out just a little bit. Grab with the vice grips, pop it out, easy as that. And you'll be needing the vice grips again, so just set your clip somewhere because they usually don't ever come with it. Not bad. So then you just more or less just pop it out. Careful shutting your door because pulling up on this lock does lock the door, which you don't necessarily want. And then from here, there's a snap clip, an E-clip on the back. So that's how I'm going to do it, is you pop the E-clip off the back, pop the new cylinder in, put the new E-clip in. You don't have to mess with the plastic, any of this stuff. Where the vice grips come in handy is if this drops back into your door, you have to pull the panel off. So I usually will just clamp a pair of vice grips to it so it can't fall in. You don't have to clamp them real hard. But let's grab maybe a pick or a small flathead and we'll see if we can get that out of there. There's not really a way I can get you guys an angle on this. E-clip is out. Pretty easy. Remember the orientation of your lock. The key when it's out of the door like this, should go into the bottom, not the top. And there it is. Now let's compare to my new ones, see if they sent the right thing. As you guys can see, got they're identical, just one's really dirty because it's either old or, well, obviously it's old, it's to the truck, but you can see the keyways are cut different because they both use the same key instead of how the Ranger had it. So key enters on the bottom. Go ahead and attempt to slot it in. Slot it in, key on the bottom. Take your E-clip. Sometimes if you got tough hands, you can just press them on. And just like that, that piece is done. Take your vice grips off. Slot that back in the door. I will usually unlock it first. Get you guys an angle on this. Now, first time I've locked this truck with the door keys since I bought it 7 years ago. The last step, real easy. Take your clip. Tag goes towards the inside of the truck. Sort of need two hands for this, but you hold in on the lock so it's flush against the door. Push in on your clip. That's secure. Lock secure. Clip's buried back in place. And this took me maybe 5 minutes. Now we're going to move on to replacing the ignition, so I have matching keys. We'll pick up with that in just a second. Now this is actually pretty easy as well. First thing you got to do is pull off your column surround, which I believe is either 3 or 4 screws on the bottom here. One here. Maybe only the 2. Oh, am I correct? But yeah, you pull those 2 screws out and take this off. Step 1. So up in these holes you've got Phillips head screws. Pretty sure they're number 2s. Oh. Seemingly obviously so. I think if you tilt your column you can kind of finesse it out. Can't tell if I got this one. So you see that's out. Now here is the tricky-ish part. So as long as you have your key, these are extremely easy to replace, but if you don't, it is a little more difficult because you have to actually drill them out. If you have your key, you should turn it to, I believe, right here. Alright, so it's a motherfucker to get to. I forgot on the tilt column on the Ranger with the manual. There's this hole right there that leads up into the column right here, and that you have to press this little pin in, because it'll so when you turn the key to run, you can push it in, but it doesn't push itself in, so you can't just pull it out. But then the installation's super easy. Technically on the 90 Ranger there should be a wire off of this for the key and ignition dinger, but I don't use them because they bother me. But just like that, replaced. And this one is, I guess I'll probably put it on the shelf because it still works good. I've got multiple keys for it. But now you just put your column shrouds back on and you're all good to go. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have any questions, comment down below. Thanks. Bye.